Going live with Facebook. Go live, young man. Go live, young man. We're live. Every time you say that, you come out here.
No cause, rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were kids of laws, didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to us, it had no flaws.
Take my cable here.
Rebel with no cause.
You got a cable there.
Said you looking for applause. See,
There's
we were
building
kids of laws,
cables
didn't
over
have a
there.
clause. It was the summertime to had no flaws.
However you needed to reach you in the chair, you gotta go back in the living room and get the cable. You know, one of them long ones, you know. Sights on the body heat, y'all. Get ready. Special guest, Candace Renee Rice.
And yo, posted at the hoop court 3 straight hours, writing in his skirt with the airbrush flowers. We went to the labs and they appreciated that. And you would almost die.
No, I can't set up with her. She's right next to me. You know, once we're set up, she can move.
Me, I didn't smoke no.
Yeah, but the first day when I came back, I couldn't.
You know it ain't fair. Trips to the beauty shop, keeping fresh hair. Blowing $80 at the damn state fair. Beach body surfing with the abs looking perfect. Hitting all the clubs, getting love on the surface. From ice cream cones to the Starbucks stones to your new best friend.
The sight sound of body heat.
They all play out like your favorite.
Candace Renee Rice.
The summertime and it ain't gonna change. Rebel with no cause.
Pimp fried rice.
No cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were kids of laws, didn't have a clause.
Cool.
It was the summertime to us, it had no flaws. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were kids of laws, didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to had no flaws.
The sight sound of body heat. That's very nice. The sight sound of body heat. The sight sound of body heat there. That's the 2. We'll fix it. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Pack Stereo TV as we get ready for our evening of programming. We're just getting things set up. So what we say, enjoy the music for a second.
Yeah, be cool, just move with the groove. No funk in here, the beat way too smooth. Yeah, let's just do what we came to do. Just vibe with it, vibe with it, vibe with it. Be cool, just move with the groove. Let's go. No funk in here, the beat way too smooth. Let's just do what we came to do. Just vibe with it, vibe with it. Unleash the verbal blessing, coated thick with verbal lessons. So kick back, chill, relax, and learn a lesson. No 9mm, no healers, just spit the lesson. You'll find this rhyme secure without question. This time, let's vibe one time without weapons. And
Good evening.
in the smooth session. This time, let's vibe one time.
Have you had your rice today?
The beat to me like
That rice.
you send me. The rap happens to set me free.
How your vowels up, you know.
When the mic touch this MC, without the mic this MC feel empty. I'm telling y'all, it's the lyrical recipe, lyrical ecstasy.
Sight sound of body heat.
I accept and expect no less than the best and check the intellect without disrespect. Come on. Be cool, just move with the groove. No funk in here.
Getting Candace ready.
Let's just do what we came to do. Just vibe with it. Vibe with it. Be cool.
That's how you sound the body heat. Too smooth.
Just do what we came to do. Just vibe with it. It's like an epidemic. Pop star gimmick.
Getting ready, y'all.
Realize that you in it and you're finished. Don't dream diminished.
It's one of those days.
Y'all have a scrimmage. I spit with
I think we got it hooked up. Making some last minute adjustments.
has no limits.
Good morning, Vietnam.
That's the whole reason we live it. But they don't get it. They like it's not right.
Come on.
Is it hip hop here to stay? No shizit. We gonna get it. New improved music. Move and groove with it. Choose who you get with. I smack rap back like this do hoes. My flow hard like Dick. Get the skimpy clothes on individuals. When anything goes. I play a pick 'em like any, money, mo. Got soul. Got so
Send my love out to Beth Nasca. Warner Williams. What's happening? Leland White, what's happening? Patricia, Lawrence.
My mic on? My mic's not on. Turn me up. Turn me all the way up. Is it loud enough? I don't think it's loud enough. It's not loud enough.
It's loud enough so you're going great in the
Can
recording.
you turn me all the way up? Can you do that more? Okay. Oh, I like this. I like this. Yeah, this is my favorite volume. Love it.
Say out the body heat. Dick, you ready?
Yeah.
If y'all hear ringing in the mic, it's because Candace is in charge of the mix.
It's me.
Come on, y'all. All over the world. Pax Stereo TV. Bringing you news and information, and sometimes pure escapism. I'm not sure what we're doing tonight. See, Vic and Candace were working on whatever. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
You know, you're wrong, man.
So it's all Vic and Candace. This is what happens when you stuck together for days on end.
Quarantine collab.
One of the things that's cool.
The quarantine collab.
That's right. We stuck here together, but we have the studio.
I'm just trying to make sure I look. Wait, go back. Okay. I'm trying to make sure
Everybody.
my hair looks good. Okay.
So here we are, and just so everybody understands the nature of this broadcast. See, Candace, hear that?
Okay, you want me to turn it down? I'll turn it
The
down.
dial's over here.
Okay, turn it down. What'd you say?
I love my people. I said, I love my people. That's all I said.
I'm about to fire you up early in the show.
I love my people. I love my.
Well, we know what the
I
show's
love
going
black
to be
people.
about, don't
I
we?
love.
We already know now, right? This is it.
So we've been okay, everybody. We want to make you feel a little more relaxed. We're trying to relax ourselves. We represent, like you, the state of the art of people who are together. Okay, because the quarantine, with everything going on, and you're having the studio here, and also the fact that we have food, drink, and copious amounts of marijuana.
All the food, yes.
And marijuana, everybody wants to hang out over here. And we do need to get work done. So we are getting work done, you all, but we're paying close attention to everything going on the air. And also we're sorting out the saga of what it's like to be quarantined in, and so if you're at home with your children, your family, this is where you really learn that you love them. You really, because I'm here with Candace. Now Vic's all right, but Candace, how you feeling under quarantine?
I'm a little intoxicated.
Okay.
I've been, it's been a quarantine fun for me. Fun-a-tine. So I've been having a great time. Awesome time. It's not working. Oh my God.
Like I said, you guys, what you're about to get is a taste.
Ow. Oh, I got lipstick on it. Oh, shit.
Okay, you guys, what's up? Okay, let me give you an idea of what we're doing. Actually, Candace is already participating in that. In other words, everybody's adjusting their social. And what we're saying is it's already happening, meaning that you're picking, your A plan, and then you're rolling down. And one of the things I wanted to ask, only because I was going to ask Candace, I said, I'm fine. I'm hearing some stories about people going, well, how are you going to have happy hour? And I heard one person say, you know what we're doing? We're actually going to be conferencing and or Facebook Live where we're all there happy hour, but we're in different locations. So that's their creative way of staying in contact. Something else I realized too. I said, imagine you're not seeing people for a long time. Does that mean you'll be going Facebook Live more often or Instagram Live? So I want to hit you first because
Definitely.
I know, definitely.
Stop touching my damn mic.
Oh my God. Look like Rudy.
They ain't grabbing the mic and stuff.
I love it.
Ouch.
Oh, you know what? This is
See,
great.
aggressive black women.
To answer your question,
Ow.
Vic, I think that, you've already seen it. Like, you already see the celebs that are going live. And I actually have a friend of mine that runs a popular Zumba class back in Memphis. I wish I remembered his name, but he literally decided to do a Zumba class on Facebook Live.
There you go.
And like, it got a lot of views. Like, people are really embracing the, let us communicate with you over live. And I think it's great. Like, I love it because now you have the older people that's like, okay, well, we can't leave the house and all this other stuff. So let us try to
talk about the older people.
You old fuckers.
If we old, we ain't fucking.
Wait a minute. Let me roll this back. Okay.
See what kind of stuff happens after you get locked
But
up
you-
together? We're going, Candace, so.
Right.
Also, you guys will know that he cuts me off a lot,
Wow.
so get used to that.
Oh. my goodness.
But yeah, so I think I think that what you're saying is super accurate. Is like myself as well, I've been doing this whole thing where I post a YouTube video every single day to
Right.
just give some content. You know what I'm saying? So for people that follow me, since y'all sitting at home, you're bored anyway, you
Right.
might as well just subscribe and watch my YouTube channel. And I've gotten like an insane amount of subscribers within the last week. So it's been great. Like, I don't like the circumstance that we're in as a nation,
Right.
and as the world in general. Like, the coronavirus, this is a tragedy, but I love where it's taking people to where we're forced to get creative about how we communicate
Right.
with each other.
Well, let me. Now, Mario is going to enjoy this because you guys have already had what we call the pre-programming conversation. It's great. I wish I could. I can't even tell you guys the way it's wrapped because I can't give away certain information. And this is important because I'm an older guy, mature guy,
No.
and Mario's an older, mature cat.
Oh, the shit.
Now, let me ask you this:
Who does?
do you find this is wrong? Do you find that you're getting? Is there some inspiration you're getting from people that say that's a little more mature and older that you say, "Oh wow, I didn't think about that," or is it just all that they're crashing and burning? They have no creativity. They have nothing to interject. What do you find?
I'm gonna
out?
tell you why old people piss me off, because my thing is that y'all way of doing things is just, it doesn't work anymore. Here's the thing.
You got to be specific about that.
I'm
I
getting
know
specific.
some of the old ways
I'm
of
getting
doing shit.
specific.
Okay.
I'm getting specific. Can you let me get there?
Ooh.
So
You got to move faster. We don't have time.
clearly,
How
long during the show?
That's right. I may
but
not
anyway.
be here.
So my thing is that, and as me and you discussed earlier, I don't particularly like you have Cardi B that is a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
You have Cardi B that has been able to generate so many more views than Beyonce, because Beyonce is more traditional in how she operates her social media and her relationship with her fan base.
Right.
And so because of that, Cardi B will always be generating more of a bigger audience and an audience that interacts with her, and so she will always do bigger numbers than Beyonce, regardless of the fact that Beyonce has put in the work over the last 2 decades. But Beyonce, she has a team that's like, look, she's so untouchable, and now it's not okay to be untouchable. Now we want to know more. Millennials are nosy as fuck.
Right.
We want to know everything. We want to know what color your piss is. We want to know everything about you.
Green lady.
Literally, we want to know everything
true.
about you.
That's true.
And so
Purple rain.
when we feel like we can't relate to you or we can't touch you, that's where the judgments come in.
Disconnect.
And we're like, well, why are you so disconnected? What's really wrong with you? Like, the fact that we can't get a hold of Denzel Washington drives us crazy. But we started to love Will Smith so much more when he
Because
finally
he
got on
started
Instagram.
adapting.
Because we finally
Right.
started to see, wow, Will Smith
Right.
isn't just this star that's paid $25 million to be in a movie and a great husband and a great father and all this other stuff. He's a person that's actually funny.
Right.
And his videos within weeks started getting 3 to 4 million views
I
on
saw.
Instagram, because you're like, wow, he's a lovable
Right.
guy, actually.
Right.
And so, yeah, I just think that we're nosy. We want to know more. We're inquisitive. We're the inquisitive generation, and so we want to know everything.
Right.
And so the fact that I don't know everything about Beyonce pisses me off.
This is the part I love.
They could just channel some of that energy to some work.
Wait a minute.
They could just channel some of that energy into some
What do you
work
mean?
and accomplish
What do you
something.
mean
You
you,
know
want to
what?
live a private life and not show us Blue
want
Ivy?
y'all to
Like, I
move
want
out.
to know everything
Move
about
out.
Blue Ivy.
Well, you know what? This is a good point, because right now they're left with the choice of now, absent that they have this big team that's going to always flourish and move their content, and they could just kind of step away from it. Now they're going to go through this period where they're still, they're projecting 18 months. Be prepared for this. So now you're going to find out that, really, some people's cream rise to the top.
Because, Candace, that's what you're going to see. You millennials are going to have to, just like us old folks, to shut down. That's what's happening. Right now, everybody's getting shut down. Candace was talking about traveling to Memphis. Like, you ain't traveling to Memphis.
You ain't going to
You
Memphis.
ain't going nowhere, girlfriend. You better
You ain't going to Memphis.
find some place to find some beans and rice around the
Right.
city so we can cook some stuff. But she's like, so it's just setting in. Candace is shocked. I'm shocked. Big shock. Stop touching my damn mic.
Listen. One thing I have to
She keeps
admit.
touching the mic.
I love
Vic.
it when he yells at me.
Oh,
She keeps
dang.
touching the mic, Vic.
Oh man, I'm
see
not
y'all,
saying-
all the
I'm not
old
saying-
folks out there. See y'all see what we dealing with.
Okay.
But she pretty, huh?
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna put you in this scenario
Trying to think of something
where,
to say.
because I believe it's one thing, you have to find solutions and not just blame. But I understand the demand, because now everybody wants to peek into everybody's thing. So I like the TikTok and the whole thing where people have fun with it.
Yeah.
Would you be okay if your father was on TikTok?
Heck yeah.
Okay, what would
I would love it if my dad was on TikTok, because now I can see what the heck he's doing when he be talking about, oh, I'm upstairs in my office. No, you really up there dancing and editing TikTok videos. So I would love that. Like, I learned how little my mother works at when she's at school teaching. I learned that because we became Facebook friends.
Right.
I was like, so you on Facebook, these kids are supposed to be learning at 11:43 a.m., but you just made a status. So yeah, I love it. So now I can now use that
Right.
to calculate what the hell you're doing in your real life.
So right-
I love it. You also
friends your parents.
listen to me. I have strong relationships with my Facebook friends. Like, my
Right.
Facebook friends are like my family. Like,
Right.
I've made strong business connections through Facebook.
Absolutely.
And so, like, I may not have met these people, but I know the ones that's like, they going through relationship problems based on what they posting. You know, the ones that's like, she tired of being single.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that just did something bad because they be posting all that God shit on Sunday.
Right.
You know, like, you
Yes.
know them well enough. And so I like that relationship that you have, and that's something that you build with an internet community. And so when you remove yourself from it, but you're still a public figure,
Right.
and I just call it, I use Beyonce as an example, but I'm actually a part of the Beehive, so I love her.
Right.
But it's like, we want to know a little bit more about you. Like, we want to know, who is this person that's making all of these great things that we admire, that we love. And
Right.
so yeah.
You know what? I love it. Wait a minute. I can hear the whisper. You know what? Mario, give in, bro. Just give in. You
Can't
can't
win.
whisper. Can't whisper.
Well, the main. Oh yes, Candace.
No, you can go.
Oh,
Well, thank you. 'Cause, we get old, we can't wait.
this is wrong.
So the bottom line being, we were talking about the types of broadcasting that are being done by millennials versus some of the people who are more senior. Candace is really very much.
Don't use that cookie cutter word. Some of the people that are more senior.
Oh,
You old fuck. suckers.
Oh, she's clapping back on you, bro. I'm sorry.
I may be old, but I'm not laying that much pipe.
Wait a minute.
So the difference is the broadcasting being done by millennials to reach the community, because that's the discussion. All of this came out of discussions of the differences in broadcasting, what people are going to be doing. You're going to see more of this coming from home. John Legend just did a concert for free. Same thing. Candace, just to make people feel comfortable. So look around. There are people that are going to be trying to comfort you and bring you programming online to help you deal with this lockup. So are we. And that's what we were discussing today. How do we handle this lockup? What kind of things do we want to do for people? And some of the stuff Candace and I have been talking about is, live performances. Niels has got to get his CD release out there. So we're all looking at pay-per-views and those kinds of things.
Okay, let me do this then, because I always say, once you put it out there, you also have to bring it back. What do people want to see you do more than anything?
I think that people want to know more about me.
Don't watch it. Watch it.
It wasn't a question.
See me do.
The question said what they want to see.
Yeah.
I think people would be okay with seeing me do anything that's out of the ordinary.
Right.
Like, I
What
think
do they wanna
I
see
put
you
myself
do?
I put myself together very well.
Right.
And so it's just kind of like I'm a person that have a business, I have a non-for-profit. So I think people would be interested in seeing me being just like crazy. Even though they already see that on Forbes.
I would like to see you get dressed.
Oh, okay. Now wait.
I mean, not to see you naked or anything.
Right,
I'm just
right.
saying, see you go about your
Fashionably.
morning routine.
Fashion.
Right, getting up, becoming the beautiful woman that you are. The choices, the challenges of which cowboy hat to grab that day, or which of the many bras you own, which one to wear that day. I'm sure.
I don't wear bras.
Well, that's what I mean. So all of those challenges mean that your morning is just full of decision. And I want to know everything, Candace. I want to know how many,
Normally my selections is like how little clothing I can get away with without being called a slut.
But you know what? Let me just say this. Let me just, you know what? See. But
That's normally how I dress.
But here's the thing about it. Okay, and
I'm down with that.
I don't want to get away because I know where Mario's going. You see, I know what he's doing.
Yeah, Me Too movement.
Right.
Get your hand off my mic.
Okay, let me just.
Why you
do
gotta
this.
touch the mic?
If you could, Candace, if you could say, Mario, I would like to see you do this. What would that be?
Ooh, Mario. There's so many things I would love to see you
I'm
do.
not rupturing any body cavities.
So I would love to see Mario dye his dreads a different color, which I have spray paint at home.
Oh, okay.
And I would love to see Mario. I would love to teach Mario some of the urban dance moves, and I would love to also take over his.
You gonna teach me some dance moves?
Yeah, and I would also
Y'all
love
hear that? She gonna
to
teach
see
me some-
Mario work out, and I would love to see
Right.
Mario try to dress in some Fashion Nova men gear.
Okay, when you say that, now you made a. We don't have to
Well,
say
we had
this.
to list those. What was the first one again? Okay, I can do some push-ups. I just need somebody down there
Wait a
pushing
minute.
back.
Wait a minute.
I can do a
See,
few push-ups.
We're gonna fly through this because I already know what's gonna happen. All right, let me just say this: the number one was what?
What was that first one?
The first one was the number one.
I was going off the top of my head. Okay.
Okay.
I would love to see Mario dye his dreads.
Oh, I
That
got
was it.
that in the house.
Now,
I got the
wait
clay.
Wait a minute. Can I do
Blue,
something?
orange, gray.
I want him to dye his locks.
Can we do this right now? And now you guys can be whatever you
I
want.
got
to
the
challenge.
lock clay color stuff. You put in
You
the
want
lock.
to? Okay, challenge to challenge.
Oh,
Challenge.
thank
Mario.
you. Can I dress you in a beautiful little sundress
Yes.
with collar all the way up here to your neck and a nice little bow? You like used to wear like the school marms
Whoa,
in the
wait.
1800s? I'm gonna dress you like that. You gonna die. Or else I get you one of those peasant dresses with the earth shoes.
Peasant dress.
With the earth shoes, you know the kind they wear like a t-shirt underneath it, and it comes up with those peasant dresses, comes all the way down,
Going off.
has a little fringe at the bottom, and they wear it with the olive oil wore one. Remember olive oil?
You're dating yourself. She doesn't even know what olive oil.
See,
Olive oil. Yes, I do.
Popeye's old lady.
Popeye. Yeah, I was going to say.
I am what I am.
They used to call me that when I growing up. That's why I know.
It's
Okay.
called
So
Popeye
skinny.
olive oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had my legs were so long and lanky.
Well, I can see it. It works.
Okay.
Claim it.
All right. Now let me ask you this. Okay. Right now,
Yeah, this-
we're in like the first runs of people being social, and then people bring more out of you. What would you like to see us do more of that would bond with things that you say, hey, I see this if you guys can try to do this, whatever that is.
Okay, so since I'm so sick and tired of you old people that like decide the narratives that you want to give. Like, okay, here's my thing. I understand that like old people have like run stuff for a long time, but your time is up. So millennials are taking over that. Stop. Okay, millennials are taking over everything. We're pretty much running social media. We're making millions of dollars online. Statistically, we have the most millionaires that we've ever had because of the internet. Absolutely. And they're all younger people. So we figured out how to make money. So with that being said,
Mario, stop.
So you're a doctor. You made your money from taking care of people.
Oh.
Okay, so with that being said,
I was a pimp.
With that being said, very well respected, but you didn't make your money from the internet.
I was a pimp, I told you.
With that being said, I would love to see you guys do what the power and the big influencers, the people that are actually influencers do. Right. Being 100% open.
Right.
Okay. No, none of that. Oh, I care about my image thing.
Right.
100% put your shit out there.
As is.
As in, I ask you questions and you have to answer it honestly.
I'd like that.
You out there that far?
Everything. Like could be, how big is your dick? You gotta answer honestly.
I did my first episode.
Well, I might have to depends what. Keep talking. Because it seems like it's changing as we speak.
It could be. It could be anything. I don't know. What I'm just saying is that you have to be 100% authentic. And that is where I feel like the older generation is lacking. They've been polished for so long because of the old way of doing things, and authenticity is what's appreciated. It's been appreciated for the longest time, but most people didn't offer that. I mean, the first that you had offered that was Wendy Williams, and people hated her, but people love her. They still watch her shit.
Right.
Even I'm not sure you guys bring you saying you guys bring more. We are the most
authentic that there is. We own our stuff.
Where's Alexa?
We go get therapy.
Let's ask this.
The millennials are going to
therapy. Define authentic. We got to define authentic.
Let me say something. I have to admit one thing you're right about. There's this openness about people sharing that they go and get therapy, and it's not even a hesitation.
Because they all need therapy.
You know what, Mario?
We all need therapy.
Yeah, come on,
Alexa, define authenticity.
Authenticity is usually defined as the quality of being authentic, genuineness.
Well, that was helpful. Shit, geez. Thank you, Alexa. Wow. Next.
Yeah, so Alexa was no help, but
exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Nothing.
But Alexa was designed by you old folks. So
Young folks ain't designing nothing.
Oh man, she's taking shots.
Yo, old condoms.
You're feeling free today, aren't you?
I'm just.
She said something.
You know what? I love her candidness.
That's why she's Candace. Candace.
Candid, but that's my whole thing. Like, as long as I feel like people are being genuine about their experiences, right. Like the older generation, they don't want to share their true experiences. They don't want to share the mistakes that they made. They don't want to share how human that they are.
Right.
It's like, put me on this pedestal and view me as a person that is just this influencer that is not touchable.
Right.
And I don't think that is iconic anymore. It's not considered iconic anymore.
Right.
It's now what's iconic is how much do I relate to this many people.
Right.
And if you can relate to this many people can look at you and say, oh my God, I want to be like this person. Like Lizzo. Lizzo is an icon.
Yes,
because
she is.
Lizzo is somebody that so many women relate to her because just in her music and in her lyrics, she's uplifting women. There's not a lot of music that uplifts women outside of Beyonce, and people be like, oh my God, why do these women ride for Beyonce? She makes music for women that inspires them. Right. When y'all men are out here doing shit to us and breaking our hearts and making us feel like we're not shit, you know what I'm saying? We have to go to Beyonce and Lizzo and play their music to make us feel better about ourselves. And so I think that when you're authentic about the mistakes that you've made, then yeah, that's what makes you iconic. Not the whole polished, let me sit here and think about what I'm going to say and plan my programming and plan, no, that's whack.
Wait a minute.
I just thought I had shared enough of my experiences. Candace, I didn't.
Wait a minute.
You know.
Maybe I wasn't talking about you. Are you feeling guilty?
Oh no, but I'm saying I share my experiences. The
Well, I'm gonna be-
years of
I'm gonna be honest
savagery out there in the streets, and Victor and I, those years of hoeing we had, we were very sad.
See, this is why
I'm just
I'm
saying.
trying to keep it on track.
No, because if y'all gonna have testimonials, it was Vic started it. I was just trying to be nice.
No, I was listen.
I didn't know she was 18. She looked 19.
No, what I'm doing is this because I've always said this because every generation goes through what they call that transition where you start to let your time build up and you start looking back. But when do you start looking back? And I always say, well, we went through the same thing when at this time, and I said, well, we wasn't paying attention to stuff that was 20 years when we were 25. We weren't thinking about what was going on at 5 years of age, and our parents are celebrating that time. So I always think it's relative, but I do agree with you on this one. Yes, there are more successes happening. The bridges have been broken as it relates to that you're not trained by corporate anymore to stand pat and just appreciate working for them. So
Yeah.
you get out of the box. So I agree with that.
Well, we all
Now-
want them to get out
right,
of that.
but the part that I'm also thinking we're going to be challenged with now is that there's not going to be money flowing for everyone the same way. So if that's the case, is the bridge now that people can communicate and get together more and not have that wedge, like you just said, will come a time, maybe a few months from now, that you'll say, I appreciate the older folks because now I've been able to interact with
I have the
them more.
perfect answer for that.
Go
Okay,
right ahead.
so touched your mic. Anyway, so
I was trying to
Here's
shock
the-
you next time.
So here's the thing when it comes to that. I actually really like that question because that's a hard question. But so where we're at now is now that we have all of these independent content creators that have now figured it out. They're learning the algorithms and what they need to put into their programming and package it to get people to watch it. And you have a lot of people that are inspired by the Cardi B's of the world that's put all their stuff out there.
Right.
And so now
That's
it's
a way
like
of putting it.
yeah, and so when you have that though,
Right.
what happens is it becomes a competition for attention.
Right.
And that's what we call clout chasing.
Right.
Which clout chasing is now we look at it and it's like that's what you don't respect. It's almost kind of back in the day, the girl that you knew fucked all the directors to get that role.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what we call the clout chasers.
Right.
The ones that's like, I'm gonna do anything online to get views.
Right.
Whether that means compromising my intelligence or putting out just information that's just not even like the people that was like coughing and licking their fingers and putting them
Wow.
on stuff in the elevator and
Right.
saying that they had coronavirus because they knew something like that would trend.
So some of the
And
women who would go after powerful men like Vic and I, like some of you ladies that may think to yourself, I could be on Pack Stereo if I could just get next to Mario or Vic. And I want you to know, well, you might work. Shit, I don't.
That's not what I had.
Got a lot of
Right,
free
right.
time.
Okay.
Right.
Like,
I
either
came
got a lot
here
of
on
free
my own.
time. So any of y'all, I'm not
So
saying.
don't try to be trying to insinuate that with your fan base as if I had to do that to get here.
Candace
I'm
did
talented.
not. So there's some open slots.
Wow. Okay. And so to finish
sexual
answering
favors
your
will work.
question,
Right.
Sexual.
due to the clout chasing,
Why can't I give me some
era.
favors?
Right.
now you have to. Well, for one, there's no respect in the online community for clout chasing. Like now we figure it out. Like millennials ain't dumb. So
Right.
like we look at stuff, we be like, yo, you doing this for views, and it's actually not even cool.
It's obvious.
It's
Who?
really
Give
not
us an
even
example.
very obvious.
Got some examples.
Yeah, like the coronavirus, like coughing and then putting your hands on stuff
Oh,
and saying,
yeah.
"Oh, I have coronavirus." Those videos are gonna trend because people are always gonna share ignorance,
Right.
and so it's just like when you do stuff like that, that's clout chasing. Or like, let's say you what's
Stick
a-
your head in your pants and then
oh,
rub people's food.
when people are doing things where they're staging racially sensitive situations,
Yes.
and they'll be like, "Oh, this is racism," when it's clearly it was staged and you hired an actor.
Right.
And it's like, that's not cool.
Right.
If you catch something and it actually is something that happened, that's completely different. You decide to share that with the world. But when you do stuff where you stage it, it's like people can pick up on that. And it's like, it's not, we're on the internet too much, so we see so much genuine and authentic behavior. We can tell the fake.
Right.
And so a lot of people do that nowadays. Or the whole, I'm going to feed the homeless on camera. Make sure I get it with my cell phone. Like stuff like that. It doesn't fly with the millennial wave anymore, or what's going. It doesn't fly anymore. We're not fooled by it anymore.
Right.
So you really do have to put out authentic content that you're passionate about and that you want to invest your time, your energy, and everything into. And you're gonna find a fan base that cares about it.
Right.
But that's what happens when you have all of these people that are now in it that now can make money from it. It becomes a competition for attention, and when you competing for attention, that's when the ignorance shows themselves. And
Right.
that ain't cool.
Now let me ask you this, because this is interesting, because there's social media for those who are just being social, but they don't have to they're not in the entertainment industry. They're not
Right.
trying to, so they get to do whatever they want. But are there places where people risk their, let's say how they project themselves, and they are really, whether it's millennials or not, and going, well, this is how they shaped me over here. Now I'm left to do it on my own, and some people fall off the cliff and they're not comfortable with that. Have you seen any younger folks not as creative, and you go, oh man, they're not that good? Because not everybody can do what you do.
That's true.
So have you run into that where you say, oh my God, you know what, try something different?
Well, I come from the reality TV world, so when they pick us, we normally are actually really crazy in real life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I pretty much can hold anything down on my own just because of my natural personality. Like, I'm witty, and I'm also smart.
No.
But you know what I'm saying? I also...
You know what? You know what? You know you.
I just learned these things. Yes, I agree, Candace. I was gonna say that. Witty and smart.
No, you got it. You.
It rhymes with witty.
I like this. Go ahead, because you know this is going to happen, right? You know this.
I'm about to kick him out his own
You know what?
studio.
If you do it slowly. I want to get it on camera.
Okay.
All right.
So,
She's witty.
because of all, and with all of that, but then, I'm also from Memphis, Tennessee, so I have, like, my twang, too.
Right.
So, because of that, people can find that different dynamic. I can identify with more than just like, oh, I'm just a country black chick.
Right.
Like, I can identify with more people because I can speak on so many more subjects because I care.
Right.
These are things that, like, I care about.
Right.
And I'm educated. But I will say that most people are not comfortable with we're gonna do this live, and I have to authentically be myself.
Right.
In the moment, because now you can't censor yourself.
Right.
And now you can't edit yourself.
Right.
And that comes from a lot, and I know a lot about that from the reality TV world, because there are different versions of us. We're not, here's the thing, everybody's not always good, and this is what the producers explain to us. When they actually film us on camera, everybody's actually a really shitty person at some point. And they're like, we have to actually edit you to make you look good on TV, because we actually can't even have you look that bad because the audience wouldn't even like you. We've all had those moments. I'm
Right.
not exempt from them either. I've had moments where I had flipped out at Nelson and I threw a beer in her face. So I'm not exempt from having those moments where we all lose control because of alcohol or because we're locked into a house or whatever.
Right.
And so so when you actually look at us, we're like little lab rats
Right.
that they're watching in the studio with all these monitors,
Right.
and they're looking at us, all of us, be really good people and sometimes be really bad people.
Right.
And so when you're going live and you have somebody that is so used to being polished, and now whatever comes out of your mouth is what comes out of your mouth, and now you have to own up to it, and now you have these sensitive people on the internet now
Right.
that's like, whatever comes out of your mouth,
Right.
and if it doesn't identify with the box or the large spectrum of things that I believe, then I'm going to troll you.
Right.
That is a lot on
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
lot. Where you have me, I don't care, because luckily I'm more of a good person than I am a shitty person.
Right.
So, there's not a whole lot that the producers can take from me and say, oh, you're just a bad person. I've had bad moments, but there's not a lot that they can edit to make me look bad, because I'm just really, honestly, y'all, I'm not that shitty. I'm a little bit, but I'm not that shitty. And so, they struggle with that with me.
Right.
And so, but some people have shitty things that they say. They're not bad people, but they just have their perspectives. And so when you put people on live and you ask them tough questions,
Right.
and they have to respond, or they have to be who they really are, no polish, no projector, no script, no none of that.
Right.
That is a lot of responsibility in today's world, because everybody is sensitive to everything, and so everybody's perspective on what you say
Right.
is gonna be fucked up.
Right. Let me ask you this. Ma, you have any questions? Because I know you chime in with some eloquence now and then, because I just want to keep going because I like when she could just roll out and say, talk about old people. That just set me up to go in this direction. I couldn't help it. When she said, I said she was so brutally honest. For me, I was like a wake-up call. Is there something you would like to ask?
Well, people are wondering. I think what they really need to know too is a little bit about Candace's history.
Right.
And a reminder to some of the audience that are tuning in now, who she is and how lucky she has been on her majestic journey from Memphis, Tennessee to Los Angeles, California, and now to become a celebrated member of the cast of the hit MTV show Floribama Shore, right? Did I say the name correct?
Floribama Shore, yeah.
I always forget the shore. I was used to saying Floribama. So, so she's out there. Every year
Most
she goes.
Most people do say that, though.
They just say Floribama.
Yeah, most people just say Floribama.
They do.
Yeah, they don't say the shore.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing is that Candace was selected amongst many people to come and live in a house down on the beach in a reality show. She moves down there. Now, just so you guys know, especially those of you who are not familiar with the area, Floribama refers to the area where Florida
the southern panhandle, the panhandle area between Alabama and Florida. So that state line is where they're talking.
They call it, what's the other name for that, Candace?
The Redneck Riviera.
Redneck Riviera. So she's down there. So you have to understand the wonderful cultural significance of Candace's remarkable journey to Floribama Shore. And those of us who know her, how tickled we were to see her take that journey down to Floribama. So the whole thing, and I watched her, and I tell her and I was so proud of her, you all, because it's a show with young people living on the beach in a house. On one of the early episodes, one of the Candace's co-stars got drunk and peed in her bed. On a different episode, they were screwing in front of a Jesus candle. Now, Candace, being the one black girl on there, is the one who ain't doing nothing. Okay, give it up for the black girl she's the good girl.
She held her ground.
And I told her, I said, Candace, what it really signals to me, and I was serious heart attack. I said, Candace, that means those producers looked at you and they determined that the magic of your personality was way more important than the other variables. I'm sure they would have preferred a hoochie sister who was giving it out of both pants legs. And so they got you, who's the mother hen of the house, the only one who ain't, got a yeast infection. And so we want to give it up for Candace.
They're not that bad.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
In front of a
They're
Jesus,
not that bad.
they were screwing in front of a Jesus candle. The other girl got drunk and pissed in Candace's bed.
Mario, I cannot let you talk about my castmates.
Yeah.
Did you piss in your bed?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. I was just laughing. I was like, serve Candace. Me, I was like glad. I was like.
Let me do this because I always believe this, because part of what we're doing, how we came together here, probably because of the environment we're in. This is our social, believe it or not, it is. But it gives me an opportunity to ask something. People in reality are always going to have to deal with the struggle of, can I go get some of that other mean money and traditional acting? Not everybody can. Do you find that to be something that's a number one goal, or are you going, well, that's not me? Or what is your challenge that you said, I now know I have to work my ass off to do this? What would that be?
Well, okay, so with me, I love challenges. So when people tell me that I can't do something, I'm like, oh, okay, watch me do it. Okay. And so I think that for me, acting, and this is what I tell my friend Carrie, because my friend Carrie Benance, she's in Black Panther, you guys. She always wants to transition me into acting, into the scripted world, and I'm not opposed to it. I would love to, but for me, because I've been in the for one, before I ever went into reality, I've always wanted to own my own content. Right. That was the reason why I was so intrigued by Pack Stereo when I was here years ago, and that's part of the reasons why I've always been like that girl with the camera that got the interviews, because I've always wanted to own. I wanted to control my narratives,
right. And
I wanted to control the narratives that came out there, and so yeah, when I did the show and I saw so much of how the power of editing can affect the show, and it can even affect what you look like, I said, nah, bro. I was like, I'm gonna own my own stuff, whether it's shorts, whether it's films, whether it's TV shows, whether it's a podcast. I want a place to where I can speak to the people that love me and let them know what it really is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, yeah, no, I think that for me, acting is great and I will do it, but it will not be my main focus. My main focus will always be the narratives that I control,
Right.
and that I can put out there, not what somebody else writes for me.
Now, here's the thing. Now, do you feel that right now, because of our social, now that you have a responsibility now to others, because now we are being pitted to go like, it ain't all about me. Who can I help, empower? Because there's so many people now who are going to be in even a worse way. And a lot of us are blessed by having connections that maybe other people don't have. It's not always about Hollywood. It's not about reality. You find yourself thinking about that and saying, well, look, I need to do more. Or you say, hey, when I get to do more, it's because I'll be able to get myself enriched with more. How are you approaching that?
Ask that question one more time.
In other words, are you finding yourself able to do more now? Mm-hmm. It's almost like more with less.
Right.
You don't have to wait to go, well, wait till I make more money to go out. Do you find that you're being creative in ways where you say, I think I can help people if I do this?
Okay. I do. So with that, I think that I lost myself for a minute because you get caught up in what other people tell you. People are really hard on people that do reality TV. Right. And so they're always like, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so I think I believed it for a small second. Right. And then I came out of it. And the way I came out of a bad relationship where I wasn't empowered. And when I gained my own empowerment back, I was like, okay, now I can do whatever I want to do. Right. And that all has to do with the people that you're surrounded by. Honestly, that has nothing to do with the reality TV and the show. You're gonna have the people online that's gonna say this is all you are and that's all you will ever be. Right. But no, if you're surrounded by people that empower you and that support you, your creative projects will always be elevated. Right. And so for me, it was just me changing how I thought and changing the people that I was around. And so now I know I can literally do any and everything. And some of that comes from the people that I met in the scripted world. A lot of people in reality TV world don't have that mindset. Their mindset is just different because when they pick talent, they pick certain people that fit in a certain frame, okay? They don't pick people with those specific mindsets. So when you're in the scripted world and you're a person that controls narratives or you're a writer or a producer or DP, a cinematographer, or whatever you're doing, a lot of those people in that field control their own narratives, whether they've done shorts or something like that, so they can understand and empower you better. So I've gotten that from people in the scripted world, even though I'm in reality, you know what I mean? So you just kind of have to merge. You have to be willing to seek a different mindset.
Now the best for last. This is for Mario. What has Mario done, more importantly, to impact you as the number one thing you said, no matter what, this is what he instilled in me or brought to me, or it just sunk in later? What was it? What is it?
So Mario is very special to me because he's been an incredible mentor. I had no idea, and I actually thank God every day that Kenny brought me here, because no way in a million years would I thought I would have found people as incredible as y'all that actually do what you do. And so this was literally what I wanted to set up for myself. I remember when I was in college and I was trying to get an internship at a radio station, and come to find out the radio was a dying art. Nobody was getting in radio anymore. Right. And the people that were in radio was hanging on by the index finger for their jobs. Right. And I'm like, okay. So I majored in communications thinking that it was going to be the traditional old 90s style of the radio DJs where I can have this relationship with a fan base. No, that was not a thing anymore. Right. And so now I'm like, well, let me build something for myself. And I always had a vision of what I wanted, and I did not see it until I came here. I was like, wow, you can actually create your own place and have your own cameras and have your own audience and broadcast whenever you want to a fan base that loves you specifically for you. Right. And that could be a thing. I did not know that in Memphis. Wow. I had no idea. I had never seen that before in my life. And so when I came here and I found out about what you guys were doing, I was in shock. I was in awe. And so to see Mario do to be the person that built this all from the ground up.
Right.
And he always empowers me with just like, yes, you can do it. And it's a lot of responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this.
It's
Let me
lot of
let me say
responsibility.
this. You get overwhelmed, right?
Oh, 100%.
So you do know.
I
this
literally
is,
walk in
right.
here and get overwhelmed.
You know what his mantra is.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody comes in here to be talented. They have to be a producer, or you're not going to get the lesser.
Yeah.
He's going to do that no matter what, because he
Yeah.
feels it's a need, and we need more of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that. Now that you know that, you staying around.
Yeah, and so, but I can appreciate the life skill that it instills, because now I feel like, okay, well, if I approach just a show that won't make me money or anything, but if I can approach it in this way, it will literally kind of like domino effect into other areas of my life. Like, he gave me like this little packet on time management, and I started reading it, and I was like, oh shoot, you know. So then I started adjusting everything in my life. I'm like, okay,
Oh, there
now
we go.
I need to
Where's
like,
the applause, man?
yeah, I'm like,
Where's the applause?
yeah, I was like, okay, now I need to set my alarm for this time, and now I need to start, like, I literally made like a morning schedule for myself for like working out and everything, and it worked. It did. And so there's so much that you can learn from creating your own content and taking on that responsibility. It's responsibility that most people don't want, but when you have that responsibility, how that domino affects into every other area of your life is incredible. And so I will always credit Dr. Mario himself.
There you go, man. See, had to sit back and let you know this journey we're going on wasn't about throwing younger people or millennials or older folks, the crab apples, under the bus. It's about, we're probably going to learn a lot more. I know when I tend to get caught up in the trends, I go backwards and look at some Black history to see all these trailblazers doing stuff that make me go, oh, I still got to do work. The other part of this was I want to give props out, because from the scripted arena, Lachelle, I see you. She's chiming in. I see you. She's a translator. So to me, when people, I think when they are in different areas, you find out that you don't want to have a wall where you're doing this. You want to be able to push people to say, try to not target, but try to just think in our area, just like we have to try to think in your area. See, I can't get too crazy with it because we have plans. So I don't want the cat out the bag, but I just want to.
And I will also add to that in saying, like, you know, I'm not going to get all like mean on you old people, but like, I will add to that as a positive and just say that, like, you know, the way
I am old.
Wait a minute, she
the
can't
way
find
that,
another
like,
word to say it.
the way that like Mario works, I think that it's something that millennials need more of because of the trend, the trend culture.
Yes,
so
they do.
because of the trend culture and because we're the microwave mentality, we're so used to like having things hopping on a wave, and then we make it to where we need to be. The same way we got so many one-hit wonders now that'll make one trap song, and then all of a sudden they hit and they make their little $500,000, $1 million, and they good.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think that the whole, like, I remember my dad told me, because I wanted to go get a business loan for my business, Organics, okay, www.organics.com, shameless plug. Okay,
Oh, wait.
Go get some hand sanitizers. We're gonna die in coronavirus, but you will not die if you buy my hand sanitizer, okay? It is based in provitamin B5 and vitamin E, and it's also hyperallergenic and paraben, and it's handmade, okay?
Small, short, and say the spelling.
Organics.com, www.organics, YAAGANIX.com.
There you go. That's
Okay.
it. We got that plug in.
Yes.
I'm pulling it up.
You're gonna pull it up? Go ahead.
No, what's so funny is that because my dad, who thinks more like y'all, he is I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna go get a business loan, and I'm just gonna like take my company to the top so I can compete with these other people. I want to compete with the white dudes that's literally out here, and I'm the one that knows how to make the product for the women, but they think they're just gonna. I was like, no, I'm gonna compete with them. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go take a business loan and give a bank to give me $200,000.
Right.
And my dad was like, no. bootstrap it with your own money. And I was like, are you crazy? I was like, no. I was like, the trends are moving too quick. I said, we're a clean beauty company. This is a $25 billion industry projected by 2025. You're not going to tell me what to do. And he was like, okay, no, you're going to bootstrap it on your own. And I did learn a lot from that, of just like, you know what, no, I'm not going to do it the quick way. I'm going to use the money from the business and constantly reinvest it. And, you know, it causes you to get creative when you actually have to use your own money. And so my own creativity was like, okay, you know what? The coronavirus is going on now. Let me produce and formulate a hand sanitizer. And I sold an insane amount of hand sanitizers in 24 hours.
Right.
All because of my willingness to not rely on the quicker way, but to rely on the faith of my own creativity and my own money to get there in the way that I needed to. And I've had so many platforms reach out to me in the last 24 hours. There's like a big platform by the name of We Buy Black that reached out to me that want to feature my hand sanitizers.
Very good.
You know?
Very good.
So I just think that, yeah, the slow way is sometimes better. It's annoying as shit, though. Like, I don't know how y'all did it for all these years.
Well, you know, and then let's just look at it this: the tools available. Because the same way we talk about things back in the day, you know, I remember if I sit there and say, well, why did my father listen to the radio and sit, next to it when the TV's over there, and you end up going, well, he grew up with radio as a primary, and TV was a luxury. So everything tends to translate up. I think I like your energy because you're going no holds barred. And I'm gonna say why I appreciate it. I always say it's better to have people that you can say slow down than to speed up. I've always learned that it's hard to get people to energize up. You have to prod, you have to convince, and you don't want to give speeches. You're different than what you were 3 or 4 years ago.
I am.
And you were not this outspoken. Look at Mario laughing. Wait, Mario. I'm gonna let you have the. No, I'm gonna let you do this. What was Candace?
What face did you
Wait,
make?
wait a minute.
I think Candace represents, for the future, what our future offers to us. She's a person who took it upon herself to take this entrepreneurial path. She's a person who left Memphis and came to Los Angeles on her own.
Yes.
So first of all, you all know what it takes to do those kinds of things, to leave your place and to go and explore. Not with that. This is not something her parents were saying, go to L.A. She had to take up and do this and be independent. So she had the guts and the willpower to go in search of a dream. What we represent here at Pack Stereo, which many people don't understand, is they make the mistake of thinking it was about Mario Hemsley, and it's never been about Mario Hemsley or Victor Allen. We've always embraced an attempt to support individuals like Candace because we believe it's a growing world. See, one day when Candace and 50 other people have their broadcasts and we are a collaboration and you can go there and see all of this wonderful content, that's when it's better. What would you rather watch? Victor and I or Victor and I and Candace?
It's easier.
Okay,
that's
see, that's what I'm saying.
It's no brainer.
Victor
right?
and I and Candace. So
Yeah.
what the point that I understand and have always understood, and Victor too, is we need to embrace the individuals such as Candace so that they can be successful and then add to the online neo-urban community which we are building. So they are the new young seeds, and the thing we really have to offer them, and really all they ever really need from us, besides the money sometimes, is infrastructure. Infrastructure. They have one thing, you guys, some things are really not new. There's always been creative people. Creative people have always struggled against rules that were put on them that were restrictive. So they are continuing in a tradition that has already been begun by the ones who started ahead of them. It is indeed the tradition that we embrace here at Pack Stereo. So that's why we celebrate Candace. Take a look at her products right here from her website.
Yes, there you go.
Take a look at her products. See, again, more than just a pretty face,
You gotta
right?
scroll down.
More than just a pretty face. Oh, there's There's a free sanitizer.
All
With
right.
orders of $40 or more.
Very good. Very good. Like I said, it is okay. Now, I don't know if we're going to run overtime. I knew he was going to do this fast. And I think the part that people needed to hear, I like to hear what they call hard love. I always feel if you don't hear criticism, you're living in a bubble. And when you don't hear it, there are people out there talking. Your brute honesty is something I already had believed in. I believe people get stuck in time warps. You can't help it. You live in that moment, can't let it go, and that's it. And I like the idea that you can actually, because I don't really care what people think.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a reality actor or an actor. I get to sit back and go, there was a time where people of color didn't have a voice and had to wait for somebody to print, publicize, or spread what they thought we were. Now I can act my motherfucking ass off. So I get to go and do something, even if it's not going in the direction of going to entertainment, and I enjoy
Right.
that point. So I echo what you're doing. I appreciate it. And I like the idea that you can be intelligent and act like a fool. Because the one thing I know that's endemic in our community, a lot of times we don't get the okay to act like a fool without judgment. And so it's unfair that you have to go out there and prove that you're intelligent, but I want to sometimes act like a clown.
What's so beautiful
And
is
that's
all
it.
of my friends are just like me.
See,
There's a
You gotta bring
whole-
some of them over here.
There's a whole surge of black women out there that get real ratchet, that
Right.
get real intellectual.
listen.
Tell them
I'm
bring
going
some.
to say this. Did we not learn from the rap community when it first started how they painted the picture of this unbelievable scourge that was coming? And born out of it was entrepreneurs, success stories. You couldn't foresee where they were going to go. You didn't see them being talent managers and entrepreneurs in different ways. They parlayed it because they had intellect, but they had to
Yeah.
come out of their community the best way they can. And not everybody lives in LA and Southern Cal and New York. So I appreciate it. Mar, you got anything else to say?
Well,
with
you
this?
know, Candace, let them know where they can find you online. And she has an evolving, how do we say, Candace? She has multiple projects in various stages of development.
Yes.
So,
So I also have a non-for-profit, the Rice Foundation, of which I partner with my friend Carrie Bonans, which she owns the CBC Foundation. And pretty much for Christmas, we take kids on shopping sprees that qualify. And so last year we were able to do 28 kids, which is a lot.
Hey,
Yeah,
very
so
very
it was
good.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
And we were able to do, I think, $250 a kid, and pick them up and took them to Benihana so that way they can actually experience a really nice restaurant. Because those kids had never experienced
Wow.
a good restaurant like that, so they were in shock when they went to Benihana's and saw the sushi. It was
I know,
crazy.
I know.
Yeah, so
Great experience.
so that's what we do. And so this year I'm working on merging a couple of hip hop artists with it, so that way we can do the biggest one we've ever done.
Right.
And then there's Organics. Follow it at Organics on Instagram, and then Facebook.com/Organics. I think that's it. And then let's see, you can follow me on IG at this is Candace Renee, CandaceRenee, and that's it.
And are you attempting to?
Oh, my
post-
YouTube.
Yes, that's what I was about to get at. You almost
okay.
finished. There you
Follow
go.
me on YouTube because I need some subscribers, you guys. So whoever's watching, just go subscribe. Even if you don't watch any videos, it's youtube.com/PimpTV, PIMPTV.
There you go.
all right.
There you go, Mario.
Hey, so Candace, anything too about the upcoming season, anything like that you want to tell anybody?
Well, right now, oh shit.
Or even
I'm
the
under-
past season,
Oh, wait,
anything?
I'm sorry. I'm under
there's stuff they
contract,
can
so
watch.
I can't say anything.
No, you
Okay.
can't.
Oh shoot. Yeah. No.
No.
No, nothing. Okay, you can't say nothing.
No.
Yeah. No.
We're hoping that hey, like everybody out there, we're hoping that Candace and the whole production is not adversely affected by this coronavirus. Part of the issue that Candace doesn't know, we don't know, is that things are changing daily. What we have done here at Pax Stereo TV is that we've embraced Candace. She is our buddy, our sister from another mister. And we're embracing her and attempting to support her. What she's doing right now, what's your goal? Okay, you said you're going to do YouTube videos all the time, almost every day.
Yes.
And so we're like embracing her with hey, you guys, I'm trying to sneak some of this equipment on her for her to play with. And some of the Segway, because you want her to ride. I got all this stuff for her to ride. We don't want her to end up in the ER.
Right.
But we do want her to ride the robot.
I definitely don't want to go see
You
ER.
should use that a different way when you say ride the robot. Just try to clean that up.
So you always got something, see.
I'm just saying, bro.
That was totally
I'm sorry. Don't say
What's
it
your
that way.
nickname for him, Candace?
Big Black Vic.
Okay. It's the only person. It's the only person I allow to say it. It's the only person who says it. So I have no choice. All right, man.
We want to thank you for tuning in. Hey, coming up tomorrow. Today we did a little different thing because we had a special guest. Tomorrow night on Real Men Talk, we'll continue with our updates on things that are pressing. But again, it's a daily change. We're not actually sure what things we'll be talking about tomorrow. We know that today the unrest, the worry has continued. The whole point that we're saying is we too are trying to figure out how to best deal with this containment. How to deal with being in the company of the same group of people or a very narrow group of people at best and still do what you need to do. We're sort of dealing with it by work. I'm working. Candace is working. Vic is working. So the truth is, we're trying to deal with it by working. And Candace has so much to do and build, and she's struggling to get her product out there, adjusting to all that stuff every day. So the journeys that we're going to be sharing with you is the journeys of how this shit is stressing us out as we try to keep going. Candace has got so many irons in the fire, and her stuff is in Memphis. She's online. Let me tell you, she's on there every day. So go and take a look at what she's doing on the platform. She makes us proud every day. And know that Victor and I continue here every day. We strive to be what we need to be in our response to this time. I pay homage to my ancestors of Howard University and all the brothers and sisters that came before me who gave blood, sweat, and tears to give me this opportunity to speak to you. God bless them, and God bless ourselves.
Something your mind can feel. A broadcast machine, 24/7 days a week. A social media stream. We are not corporate. We're indie to the core, free to do our own thing. We are who we are, and we are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view.
Your playlist, Broadcast Transition, on Amazon Music.
Yep.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marijuana for Dummies, the show that resists the miseducation of marijuana. You know, coronavirus, everyone is worried about it affecting delivery because as delivery systems are affected, we so much expect it to affect the marijuana delivery. So far, at least here in Los Angeles, it doesn't appear to have had any effect. I've talked with the folks at the dispensaries where I go. They're getting their weed. They're getting their weed. Now, remember, truckers, transport people, people who work for things like FedEx, I'm not sure. I know that previously, when things were illegal, the majority of marijuana went through our regular postal system, believe it or not, okay? Went to the regular people mailing it in packages through our postal system. So I don't know what happens now. But we have been worried, really, about some kind of insult, problems with the marijuana delivery system. And I can tell you right now, at least in Los Angeles, California, it's not happening. There's plenty of weed to go around. Now, when I went into the dispensary this week, it seemed like their selection roughly looked lower than usual to me, the different types of weed. But they had a bunch of weed. Still just a few vapes, that whole issue with vapes and the safety of that, causing vapes to not to be something that's really selling. But they had a limited selection, but enough stuff that I was able to, saddle up. So I went to the dispensary and got saddled up with weed because I know in the times that when they're hard and stressful, I need marijuana. As I've told people, I've been smoking marijuana all morning long. And you can make your own assessment as to how lucid, clear thinking I am. I've been smoking, and the thing that I smoke for, and my point that I made, and you can ask Vic or any one of the people who are around me constantly, I don't get euphoric. I don't have any high moments of giddy, hee, ha, ha. What I mostly do when I smoke marijuana is feel more relaxed. I relax and I work. So I tend to roll a joint, make a pot of coffee, and work. Work at the desk for hours and hours. So that's what I'm getting. So different people smoke for different reasons. In today's world, people, I think, more and more are smoking marijuana specifically for those kinds of things, for rest and calm. I have increasingly have people who are coming to me who are trying marijuana for stress. Had two good friends recently who have been having trouble with sleeping. When they weren't resting well, and they were trying these expensive herbs, and the doctor had them doing these things. One of my friends said, I didn't do any of this stuff. I went to the dispensary and got one of the cheapest marijuanas they had. And it was so powerful to me. She said, I had like 3 or 4 puffs and slept like a baby.
Okay.
Slept like a baby. I say, well, marijuana is known for that, especially in indica. We talked about not having indica in the morning because it tends to be too sedative. You get up in the morning and have indica, you may go back to bed. On the other hand, if you get up in the morning, and as I like to do, you have a sativa with your coffee. That's not like putting even, Courvoisier in your coffee. It's not like that at all. You get up in the morning and you have a sativa with your coffee. You very often will feel up, enlightened, relaxed and tuned in. It's a different feel. And again, that's the feel so many people are going for. The issue of indica versus sativa, but what they're actually using the drugs for. Why are they medicating, as they would say in the psychiatric world? Why are you self-medicating? There are reasons to self-medicate. Stress is one, and I suggest that if you're dealing with even today's stress out there, I think of all the different ways to handle that stress, marijuana may be the best. And I'm comparing marijuana to prescription medications, to other illegal medications. If you are stressing out over this coronavirus, I think that marijuana is the best drug for you, especially a sativa, a light sativa. Here's what's so funny. If you don't really want to smoke, you go in there and get the cheapest weed possible. And the cheapest weed in the dispensary is probably 10 times stronger than what they had when I was in high school. So the cheapest, the absolute most nuttiest weed that they have today will kick shit in the ass from 20 years ago, even, okay? So you can go to the dispensary and get the cheapest of their weed, smoke a little bit of that, and get the relief that you feel, that you need to feel. It's for the same reason marijuana, it works well with post-traumatic stress disorders. This is the way I do it. Anything that makes you anxious. If your daughter's messing around with a drug-dealing idiot, then you're stressed. Smoking weed will make you not want to kill him so badly, okay? If you are so nervous that you are twitching because your mate is so financially unreliable that you want to stab him in the neck with a fork, okay? The marijuana will help you calm down. If your kid, your ungrateful little shithead teenager is doing stuff to drive you crazy, marijuana will keep you from kicking ass, okay? Because for the same reason, it's great for post-traumatic stress disorder. So, because I'm such a compulsive, person, and I would tell this to Vic, and Vic will probably say, when Cortez, when we would be working on music and Cortez would get on my damn nerves, I would go smoke some weed.
True.
And I could go feel better, right? I could say, well, I'm calm now.
Right.
Because I love you, Cortez, but you get on my last nerve.
Right.
Okay, so smoking weed. So that's the kind of stuff that weed is really good for. I think that that's useful and helpful. So what I'm saying is for those of you who are feeling increased stress during these times, it probably is cheaper and better for you to not drink, to go buy some weed.
Oh, they drinking.
See, they drinking.
They drinking, bro.
Alcohol is known to make you, you look it up, certain drugs are known to make you violent. Alcohol is one of the main ones, PCP. That's just like some drugs make you happy, some drugs make you mad. You drink and you usually want to cuss somebody out or kick somebody's ass. Okay, that's drinking. You never, let me tell you, mother, you never. Okay, that's drinking, okay? You don't go smoke a bunch of weed and then go cussing out a bunch of people. See, that's not the weed. That's not the effect of weed. You don't see weed people go, That's alcohol, okay? So I suggest you not drink. Get some cheap weed for cheap. It'll last you. And that might make you tolerate watching Netflix 5 nights a week with your old lady. Or your old man, depending how you swing. Okay? I'm just saying. You may need some weed.
And it's a good time. Now everybody has more time. They can exercise more.
See, Vic is fucking with you right now.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm messing with
That's why I had to use the F word.
See?
See, now we got to, not only do we have to suffer to Corona
Right.
shutting us down, we got to hear shit from the exercising people.
That's right.
See?
No
So
excuse.
we going to get fatter. We going to get fatter while they going to be at the gym. I mean, Thornton was telling me, I was at the gym 6 a.m. First of all, who the hell is at the gym at 6 a.m.? But I said, I was at the gym at 6 a.m. Everybody in there was healthy and separate. And they was all separate across the gym, working out. Was no sick people in there, 6 a.m. I said, well, sirs, you 6 a.m. mofos, right? Shit.
So here's the question.
I'm being up at 10 a.m. and get me a Big Mac.
I'm going to ask your professional
Mac
opinion.
breakfast, something.
With more people now having available time, the number one priority for a lot of people right now who's not watching any of this stuff is to go out and earn income, because that's number one, clear. But if you get beyond that, will people now, because they have more time, be in better shape because they have time, or get worse? Your opinion.
They probably will get worse.
See?
But they don't have to. I can tell you, what did I do yesterday? I was cleaning up around the house. I had a bunch of stuff to organize. I was moving boxes. I was getting stuff done,
Man.
packing up some lights,
Oh, man. 10
all
minutes,
that stuff.
10
I'm trying.
minutes of work, man. It was unbelievable.
10 minutes. I did 10 full minutes. At least that was like having sex 4 times. So, I did 10 full minutes.
No, you worked harder than that, bro. He did. He did. So
It was equivalent of 4 sexual episodes.
Right.
for 10 full minutes.
People can now go, I don't have to go to the gym now. Stay out of I can just go. What's the excuse now?
The
Only thing
excuse,
that's going to be excuse is I got to make that money.
that's the excuse. That's what you can tell your woman.
Right.
I got to go make that
I gotta
money,
make that
or I
money,
got to
man.
put you on Pornhub.
Yeah. If listen, at this time right now, I think everybody's like, oh, and let me just do an update for the previous segment of Mario Address. In certain parts, I guess, of the U.S., the police are asking people not to call 911 because they ran out of toilet paper.
Oh, God damn. See?
Dude,
See?
I'm saying.
See?
Wait a minute. I couldn't believe it.
Sometimes Corona's way
Wait a minute.
is the way.
I'm trying to picture this. Mario, I have a suggestion.
Yes, my brother, but I'm
No,
not
I'll
kissing
wait.
anything.
I want you to continue with this segment. I'll wait.
No, give us where I picked this. What's
Yeah.
this?
Okay. You remember the movie Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey, right?
Certainly. I still haven't figured out the ending, but another one of those wonderful movies where you end up going,
You don't know what the hell happened.
All
right. So I believe right now travel will continue, and at our major intersecting lanes of travel, like the bus stations, the airports, place where you just got to have people there, I believe we should have what we call some form of security checking people at the bathrooms to make sure that when they go in, they wash their hands, and when they come out, they wash their hands. And you remember...
You're some nasty mofos.
Now, remember...
Nasty.
You can't use humans because they can easily fall asleep
stanky fingers.
and doze off. But you remember the computer machine that, the big Interstellar. Why don't we have those pitted at certain popular restrooms? So when people decide they don't wash their hands, it steps in front of you and says, get your ass back and go wash your hands. And if they